Hey guys, today we're going to talk about a new emerging information technology that has become relevant discussion in the classroom. We're talking about ChatGPT. Now, if we think back to when we were in elementary school and we used calculators, they were frowned upon by a lot of our teachers, at least mine. They said that we needed to learn long division to be able to do it by hand, that we wouldn't always have a calculator available, but that's proved to be untrue today as we have a cell phone with us at almost all times. If not, we're on a computer. We have access to these things. So we need to consider now if it's worth fighting against technology and letting it work against us, or should we work with it and allow it to benefit us? So here we look at a letter to university professors at Western Kentucky University. This discusses that professors are going to start seeing the use of AI tools in their classroom, but the university is leaving this open to the discretion of the professors, as many people are still unsure whether this is a good or a bad thing. This just shows the impact that AI is having in the classroom, but now we're going to discuss whether we think that it is a good thing, a bad thing. We're going to look at some of the positives, some of the negative things associated with this technology. So now we're on an open interface of ChatGPT 3.5. I've typed in a question. We want to look at some of the limitations that ChatGPT has. This is a pretty basic question to ask such a high-powered technology. Let's see its response. So ChatGPT does not have access to real-time data, and that's a big problem if we become dependent on it. So here we ask ChatGPT to complete a task that would take the average coder about 20 minutes to complete. When we submit the request, ChatGPT is able to complete this in just a matter of seconds. This is great, but in a classroom setting, how does this benefit the student? It doesn't. If we consider another situation where the student, myself in this situation, has created a code with a known bug in it, will ChatGPT be able to assist us instead of do the work for us and show me where the bug is and help me move along and create my code? ChatGPT does recognize this bug and it is able to fix it for me. So here, there's still learning happening. I'm no longer stuck waiting for someone to email me back or finding assistance from someone else to help me with this code. I can move along with my project. So our Python coding examples show us a couple ways that ChatGPT can speed up our processes and even help us when we hit a roadblock. But what happens when we become too dependent on ChatGPT, or worst case scenario, we begin to trust it as an all-knowing power? Are we vetting our sources? What happens when the data that goes to ChatGPT is controlled to fit someone's agenda? Let's look at an example that's relevant to what we're discussing here. I'm going to ask it to write a paper, APA style, about 1,000 words explaining the pros and cons. So the main problem that I see when I'm asking it to do this task is at the end of the paper, when we look at the sources that it used, we're not going to find any. This means we can't go back and see where this information came from. It asks us to go ahead and provide the appropriate resources here, but how do we find them? So we've looked at a couple of examples with Python coding, how ChatGPT can serve as a great tool to help us in our process. But we need to also remember that it is just that. It's a tool. It's not the beginning and end to any project. We need to preserve the human aspect, the human element to the things that we do, and just use ChatGPT more for an inspiration when we're writing research papers. It can inspire us by giving us outlines or a pathway to start on the research, but it's up to us to check sources. We don't want to put our name on something that we've not done due diligence to verify that it's true and free from biases. Free from biases. So go out there, embrace the technology of ChatGPT, but experiment with it. See what flaws you find in it, see what ways it benefits you, but always use it with caution Don't trust it 100%. And as with any new technology, make sure you get comfortable with it and learn everything you can about it before you embrace it to its fullest.